Hello students, I'm here to teach you how to make the next project that we are doing in my class. Now there are a few different things we could call this project. We could call them Cascade cards, we could call them peak pages, we could call them flip flows, right? Is this a flip flow? Is it Cascade cards? Is it peak pages? I don't know. I like Cascade cards the most, but you'll have to let me know which name you think is best. Either way, here's how you do it. Right? You're going to take an 8x11 piece of printer paper. Actually, you're going to take two of them. And you're going to cut them in half long ways, right? Like a hot dog, as they say, right? So that what you end up with are 3 half pages that are long and hard to separate, okay? So we got 3 of these. Now, I'm going to show you what to do with these pages using some colored paper that I cut in half because that will hopefully give you a higher contrast. The white on white might be kind of hard to see, right? But here's what we do, okay? We take our first piece of paper, which we're going to use yellow first, and we're going to fold it, not in half, but we're going to leave about the width of our index finger down at the bottom, right? So if we put our index finger on the page, right up against the end of it, and then we take the rest of the page and we bump it up right against the other side of our index finger. Now we can go back and fold, making sure everything is nice and straight here. Okay, so now you can tell we've got one page, we've got another page, right? If we take our second piece of paper, which I'm going to use this pink one for, I'm going to do the same distance. So I'm going to put my index finger on the paper with the inside edge lined up to the inside edge of the paper, the end of it. And then I'm going to take my yellow page, bring it right up against there. I'm going to eyeball it so that this pink spot that's pointing out is about the same width as this yellow little peek out part that I've created previously. Obviously the vocabulary for this project is in the works, okay? But I'm going to line that up nice and straight. Then I'm going to take what's left of the pink page and I'm going to fold it over. Now, if I have done it right, I should still end up with about 1 index finger's thickness on this layer. That was the top layer of the yellow page, right? But is now my second layer, right? Now, you might have seen this coming. We're going to do the exact same process with the blue. Index finger on the page, bump the cascade that we have so far right up against the other side of my index finger. We're going to fold it over. Boom. Okay, we're going to straighten it. And now what we've got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. 6 if you count the cover. Right? But if I straighten all of these out, what I need to do now is make them not fall apart, right? So I'm just going to grab a stapler, and you don't need more than 2 staples. You can just do 1 on either corner, do them parallel with the creases that you've made, but you got those stapled, and now they won't come apart. So what I can do is I can create some kind of title, right? Like the name of the book that I'm reading, The Outsiders, okay? And you'll notice as you flip things up that this is only as big as the surface area of paper that's showing. The next section is going to be bigger, right? The section after that is going to be bigger, bigger, bigger until the final bottom section is much larger than all the rest, right? So if I'm making a project about the characters in my book, the character that I know the most about and can write the most about will be on the bottom because that's the most space, right? So if I'm doing The Outsiders, I might choose Pony Boy, right, to be down there. Maybe I think the character I could write the second most about would be Johnny, right? And then so on and so forth. Maybe after him, I think I could write a lot about Derry, maybe then Dally, And then, now I'm blanking on the names. Someone else, Steve. Now, you might be thinking, how could you not put Soda Pop in that list? He could probably be in the list. But I think that I could fill up about this much space for Steve, right? I know more about Dally, so I'm going to have to fill up that much space about him. Now, this thing would be kind of weird looking, right? The double yellow on top of each other is kind of weird. And so what we're going to do in class is not actually use colored paper, but white paper, right? So that it's a total blank slate, and we can tip it all up and everything looks nice and uniform, and we can add our own color. And really what's nice about this is if you take 2 pieces of paper, this is, again, 3 slices of paper, but if we wanted, we could add a 4th. So then we have more layers that we could fill in. Of course, then our title page is only that wide, but that's fine. You know, the title is arguably the least important part of these things. But now there are too many staples in there now. But that's how you make these things. They're pretty simple, pretty easy, and it's a good way to put a lot of information onto a little bit of space. So Cascade cards, peak pages, flip flow, whatever you want to call it, that's how you make it.